This is Dr. Michelle Oakley of UConn Vet, and I'm talking to Jim and Florence on the forum.
Hi, everyone. This is James Patrick, and I'm joined with my partner, Florence Carmela. How are you, Florence?
I'm doing great, James. Enjoying the summer. How about you?
Same thing. Summer's it's cool over here in the low 80s. And for everybody being affected by the weather, we hope you're safe and indoors and nothing bad is happening, because there was a lot of hullabaloo about it. So everyone be safe out there. We are going to be doing our book review, and our book review is a special one. It's fun and exciting to see a new writer coming out and the imagination and the different ideas that they have. And the book that we're coming out, why don't you introduce it as we start?
The book is called Threads of Blood and Silk, Stone Wielders Legacy Trilogy, and it's from an up-and-coming author, Karelynn Spacek. And I have to say, for a new author, she absolutely does a great job with this book. It's definitely a book for lovers of fantasy. And again, if you like elements of thrill, like if you're into adventure and looking for a good thriller, it definitely paints a very vibrant background, and the characters are very interesting. I mean, there's some tragedy and there's definitely highs and lows, but I have to say I was very pleasantly surprised, and I really love the way she writes.
Yes, I think her writing is fun. It's kind of new, it's young, it's exciting, and I think it's really interesting. They're trying to locate a dagger to use it in a spell that they had found. This spell can be used to restore the island nation to its former glory. We kind of mixed it between the National Treasure as well as Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings has the fantasy and the different worlds and trying to get different clues. And that's kind of where the National Treasure comes in, because I love National Treasure. What a great movie. The second one, The first one, though, was amazing with all the clues and the different strategies that they used. And then another clue would come up. And that's kind of what this book is about. They have some interesting, sexy characters, hip characters with Jared and Alex, and people that are trying to get information using the clues to kind of get all of the things that they need to save past land. And it's really an interesting way of doing a book, because she's giving kind of that fantasy fun, and then she's also making it where you have to think. And I think that's what I like. It's not one of these books that you just read and silly and all this nonsense. You really don't, you leave your brain at the door. This one's fun because you try to figure out the clues and try to figure out the questions. And there's a twist and turn too. A lot of the things you think you figured out, it goes in a totally different direction. And that's what I really like about this book.
Definitely an emotional roller coaster. They even have like a family feud of sorts, something that is revisited in the book. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lot of tension, there's adventure, twists and turns. That's what kept me with the book, turning the pages and not wanting to put it down. Loved the characters. I especially loved Alex. And I think that when you are writing a book of this kind, I think that it is really important to be able to have the reader connect with one or some of the characters. It's a very important thing, especially when you're getting into that fantasy and you're one of those sort of biting your fingernails, seeing what's going to happen next. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like make believe and pretend. So it's good to have a character that you can really connect with.
I agree. Well said, because I think also what I like is there's different aspects of each personality of the characters. And you could it's not like Marvel where, oh my gosh, I relate so to Iron Man or something like that, because you can't, because they have superpowers. So, but you can relate in kind of the quizzical nature of the different characters, also their thought processes, how a man and a woman would think each kind of clue out. And I think that's what I really enjoyed about it. And then also trying to figure out the clues along with the other characters. I think it's really interesting. So to me, if you're into lands, if you're into the fantasies, you're into the relationships, there is some adult content. So again, we just want to let you know that There is
Yes.
some adult content, but it's very much a book that I think if you're into fantasy and you're into the different worlds, you're into the kind of fast-paced National Treasure type situation with the book, you will really love this. Now, Florence, I'll give you the last word on it, and I'm looking forward to the third one, which Karelynn is definitely working on.
Yes, I was just going to say, I am looking forward to the third one as well, because this second book kind of leaves you wanting more. I will say that, and I was pleasantly surprised. I have a lot of young adults in my family. I have a lot of kids in their late teens and early 20s. They will absolutely love this book. And I know for a fact that my nieces and nephews were very, very big fans of the Harry Potter type books and Lord of the Rings and all those movies. And so something like this, Threads of Blood and Silk, would definitely be a book I would say for teens and young adult readers. It does keep you on the edge of your seat. First two books, I would say absolutely. I would get them together. And then this way, when the third book comes out, you're all set. And then Christmas, I know it's still August, but hey, Christmas will be here before you know it. So why not? I mean, if you have a young reader in your family, somebody who loves reading, loves these fantasy novels. And so absolutely, I give it 5 stars. That was the other thing. I was like, I want to give it an honest, serious review. And I absolutely would give it 5 stars because I think there's something in it for everybody.
Yes. And also make sure that you go on to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And Karelynn is very active online. She's fun. She's artistic. She just went to Comic-Con. She did cosplay. She's a fun person to follow. She's got a lot of things going on. She's a great artist. She does some artwork that's really good. And it's fun to see someone with this type of outgoing personality, a fun personality. You guys will love following her. And her last name is Spacek. Karelynn Spacek. Threads of Blood and Silk. We loved it. 5 stars. Fun read. Get it today on Amazon or wherever books are sold. Take care.
Bye.